Hey, 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 what do you say?
WTF?
WTF. The world right now is full of WTF and mentee bees. Literal.
The world should be full of everyone chill out and just don't
Breathe.
don't get involved with stuff that doesn't don't get involved with stuff that doesn't involve you. That's where I was.
Well, hi everybody.
Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Moment of Presence.
I am Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching.
And I'm Krista with Wicked Wisdom Consulting.
And we are here not using the full curse words, but WTF. Seriously, how many times a day is somebody, including the president, saying the F word or WTF? I mean, really. And how do we maintain our calm and our light
Mm-hmm.
in this jumbled mess of what's happening in the world? Whether it's your family dynamics, whether it's your career, or whether it's just geopolitical. How do we maintain our calm within? Because that's really our only job.
Yeah. Well, one thing I do is I just look at my little cutie pies. I had these made for Father's Day, and I had 9 of them shipped to us in different patterns. So one thing I do
Only
is look
9.
around and I feel grateful
Mm-hmm.
for all the beautiful things that surround me and bring myself back into the things that I have gratitude for, because what we focus on is what we see. What we make mental notes of, those are the things that we attract more of that. And so if we're constantly focused on the world is ending, World War III is starting, life as we know it is ruined forever, then yeah, it is. But if we're looking around going, wow, the sun is so beautiful today. It's nice and warm. It's beautiful summer so far. I've got family around me. I've got my pets. I woke up today.
I have a job.
Today I have a job, and you know what? Today was an okay day. Today was an all right day. You're going to see more of that.
I have a
And that's what
remote
you're
that
going to
makes
focus on.
the office cooler when I need it to.
Yep. Hashtag South Florida. Yeah. Yeah. But I think the other thing that can't be said enough is that, everything that we've been talking about since this show has started, it's been about living in the present moment. It's about taking deep breaths, bringing ourselves back to center. You say it all the time.
Choices.
But also responding, not reacting.
Right.
And at least from my perspective, I'm seeing a lot of reacting and not a lot of responding. And I think that that's something that we could talk about today.
Well, and I'm glad you brought that up, because that's a big one. Because whatever, I don't give a shit what you believe in, who you believe in, whatever. The bottom line is there is stuff going on that is none of our business right now.
Yeah.
It will all become clear, but for right now, there is stuff going on that is not our business.
Yeah.
And if we have faith and we have trust in the Lord Almighty, in the universe, in a higher power, in your own intuition, just be able to be in that.
Mm-hmm.
Be in that trust and faith, and know that God's got this. God's got our back. The universe has our back. What's tricky is the universe has our back, so what you resist is going to persist. And if you're focusing on the BS, then you're going to get more BS, just like we've talked about. When I use the analogy of the algorithms. If you're clicking on more of the BS stuff, you're going to get more BS stuff to see. But if you're clicking on more of the fun stuff, the cute dog and cat videos and the sweet videos that make you cry, you're going to get more of that to get you in your feels.
Yeah. Well, and I think, we've talked about this before, but I mean, I'll say it a million times, especially because I was just thinking about this. When did cell phones the way we know them now? When did that really, when we had the ability to go on our phone and search anything in the world, get real time updates on things happening? The last 10 years, maybe 15.
Yeah, maybe. Not like
Before,
it is now. I mean, now you're getting live stuff like as it's happening.
right, and my point is that's only been the last 15 years. Humans have been around for, I don't know what the number is,
Yeah.
longer than that, substantially longer than that. We're not necessarily meant to have all of the troubles of the world weighing on our shoulders.
Right.
For most of human existence, we knew about our town and our little village's struggle. Maybe the village over if there was something going on, like some sort of
Yeah.
predator walking around. But for the most part, it was us and
Yeah.
our little world, and maybe the ones right around us,
Right.
not the entire world. And so, if that's how our nervous systems were developed if those are the things our nervous system were developed to withstand, now because of this and because of our computer and because of the constant access to what's going on everywhere, our nervous systems are not equipped unless we're doing the work to handle all of that.
Right. And I want to get into the just a little side step here on what that work is, because the work is not hard. The work doesn't take a lot of time and effort. It just means relax, take a breath,
Mm-hmm.
look around your surroundings. Is there anything going on that you need to flee from? Is there any fight or flight right now?
Is there a tiger stalking you in the jungle?
Do you have food in your refrigerator? Do you have enough TP? Cool. It
Enough what?
TP, like toilet paper.
Oh, oh,
Like
oh. I didn't know what letters you said. Okay.
you're good. Yes, there are things going on and we can't be blinded. No one's saying that. Limit yourself.
Well, it's
You
also
Yeah.
learning when you need to react, like when you need to take action and when you need to just like relax for a second and let the what's that saying? Let the pieces fall where they may. What's that
Yeah.
phrase? Is it
Let
pieces?
yeah, yeah,
Let the pieces
exactly.
fall. There's a lot of things that have absolutely nothing to do with you.
Right. And they're
And
out of our
we all get
control.
ourselves worked up about it.
Right. And the better thing to do, what actually will have more of an effect, is if you send out good thoughts, good vibes, keep yourself
Hmm.
in
What do they
that
say?
happy mode, that grateful mode.
It's like one high vibing person is worth more energy, like worth more energetically, has more of a pull, not worth it,
Hmm.
monetarily, like has more of a pull than like 10 in a lower vibration or something like that.
Yeah. I'll have to look it up.
But
Uh,
I think it's something like that. But the point is exactly what you're saying. By keeping yourself higher vibe, you're pulling up everybody else. You're pulling up the planet along with you, and it's such an easy trap to go down. And I've talked about this too. Is in my early 20s, I was Miss Activist. I thought I needed to let everything in the world pull me down. That I needed to be bothered by everything. And all that did was like give me stomach issues and
hmm
stress me out. It's not my responsibility to worry about the worries of the world.
Yeah. And it's true. We can only affect the world around us.
Mhm.
And then if
Unless we're living in a positive space and then we're pulling up the energy of the whole world.
that's where I was going.
Oh,
So
sorry.
if our positive space is good and we're affecting our positive space, then our positive space is going to affect those around us. If
Hmm.
I go up to the grocery store and I'm in a good mood because my positive space, my environment, my home life, my career, everything feels good and I'm just like whatever happens happens, like it's cool. And I go to the grocery store, I'm going to be like Hey, the other day, perfect. Perfect.
Wait.
I'm
You should be moving like what?
I was at the grocery store, and the only lane open was that one person, the one
Cashier.
cashier that she rubs me the wrong way. But she was the only one open. And I walked up and I was like, "Good afternoon." And I was just like, "Hey, how you doing?" And she was like, "How are you doing?" And I said, "Oh, I'm getting this and some conditioner." It was conditioner for, and she's like, "You have shampoo, right?" And I was like, "Oh, good call. Thank you so much for being so observant and for listening to what I actually said, because she didn't have to listen." But my point is that I walked in. I could have been like, "Oh crap, her." But instead, I just embraced it and was like, "She's open, cool. I get to go through her lane faster. How you doing?" I made it a nice conversation. It ended up saving me time because I didn't have to go back. I told her to have a nice, helpful, I told her how helpful she was, and I told her to have a nice day. I hope that I put a smile on her face. So, our surroundings, our bubble, literally, that we create around ourselves, our home, whatever, our environment, as we move through this world, will affect and bump into other bubbles. So, do you want to negatively affect other people, or do you want to positively affect other people?
It's so funny because I'm thinking about the time we went to a concert and I probably negatively affected everybody. But we've talked about this before. Some lady almost fell on me and it ticked me off. And then all of a sudden, all these people started moving away from us, and I was just sitting there fuming. So my energy really just helped push everybody back. But that's beside the point.
The
Um,
energy is strong with this one.
yeah, a little bit. Um, but the other thing too is, with all of this, oh, hi Renee, how you doing? Thanks for joining us.
It's summertime.
Yes, it is.
Summer, summer,
Um,
summer.
what was I gonna say?
Sorry. Well, while you're
Oh,
thinking
it's
about that.
also, going back to letting the pieces fall where they may. It's also, you know, and this is, we've talked about this a lot, but it's all about perspective. We can't see everything that's happening. And I think one of the things with having these stupid devices that we're all addicted to is that because we get updates constantly about everything, that somehow we've become or we started to believe that just because we get updates all the time, that we know the full picture, that we know the full
Mhm.
story. And so even, you'll see things in the news about like celebrities and people will be like, no, they couldn't have done that, they're a great person. And it's like, but you have no idea what happens outside of those news updates that you get, outside of those Us Weekly and People stories that are released. Those are very strategically curated stories to provide entertainment. You really don't know who that person is. Same thing goes with politicians. Same thing goes with world events that
Mhm.
are happening. We don't know what conversations are being had behind closed doors. We don't know what is actually happening unless you see it with your two eyes. And honestly, even then, it's a crapshoot if it's real or not. There's no way for us to know if we're being fed a carefully orchestrated story
Mhm.
or actual reality. And if it's related to the media, any media on all sides, chances are it's going to be fluffed up. There's a reason that our history books are written by one side and one side only, and we hear that side of the story. Uh,
Mhm.
but all of that to say, we need to be careful when we take stances and we make decisions. We may not know the full picture yet. I remember when I was starting college, they had our big, orientation day. We
Mhm.
go, get tours around the campus, whatever. They had us all gather into the big auditorium, and this group of kids went on stage and started talking about this essentially political movement. And
Mhm.
they like wanted everyone in the crowd to stand up and start, chanting and whatever. And me and a select other few kids sat there the whole time and didn't move and didn't join in because it was like, I don't know the full story. I don't know. I
Right.
have no, it was very start of this movement coming along. I don't know exactly what you stand for. I'm not about to stand up and do that. And there are people around me looking at me, looking and be like, what's wrong with this girl? She's not joining in. I don't know the full story of what you're promoting. And truth be told, now that we've seen that come to light, I'm really glad that I didn't stand up because I didn't know what they were promoting, and I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that that's so important. Is one, not to be pressured into supporting something just to join on the bandwagon.
Or just so
And
that other people won't attack you or look down on you.
right, right. Um, you can join here, by the way, and thank you all for being here and tuning in. So thank you for that. And definitely share out, ask questions, comment, keep going, Renee, because we love when you comment and join in the conversation. But I think the word that we're kind of dancing around here is there's become this entitlement
Mm-hmm.
that we, like Renee said, we're not allowed in the room. I don't believe that we should be in every room. I don't believe that we have the information, the clearance to be in the
Or
room.
even just the understanding.
Right.
There's one of
Yeah.
the greatest quotes of all time comes from the movie Men in Black, where Will Smith's character is
Ah,
going, people can handle it. And what's his name? Robert, is it Robert Lee? It's
uh, uh, Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones says back to him, no, a person is smart. People are, what does he say, like stupid, gullible, and panic. You get the gist of it. That's,
Right.
that's the gist of
If
the quote.
everybody, if people knew how many times a day
Mm-hmm.
the world was threatened, something almost
Okay, well, that's a
collapsed.
whole separate part of the movie,
But
but yeah.
yes, well, I thought it was the same part. But if everybody knew how many times it happened in a day, in a week, we would be in that. We're not supposed to know. That's why we have certain people that we elect, or people out there that we trust, God that we have faith in, that everything's going to be fine. And I'm not saying to turn a blind eye or not give a crap. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you don't like the person that is the leader, then I wish that I pray that the right people have the right take
The
the
right
right
people make the
action
right
for
choices.
peace. Right. For peace. That's it. But this entitlement, I was watching, and I'm limiting myself, but I was watching this morning a news brief on everything that went down with this this attack thing. And people, and the reporters were like upset, like, well, why didn't we know about it? It's like the first time it's ever happened where nothing got leaked. So I'm actually really glad that no one knew about it, because that's how it's supposed to happen. We're not supposed to know all of it. The people that are involved are the ones that are supposed, the families of the military people that had to go over there and do whatever they had to do, their families didn't even know exactly what they were thinking or what exactly they had to do. So why do we feel so entitled that we should get a report like sent out to us within 12 hours
I mean,
of
I
it
can tell
happening?
you why. It's because we've cultivated a society that's based on everyone else making us feel okay. It's nobody else's responsibility to make us feel okay.
Hence
It's nobody
emotional
else's.
liberation.
Exactly. It is emotional liberation. It is personal responsibility. It's radical self-responsibility. It's not depending on external forces to make us feel okay. You know how I felt the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Because you know why? I can't do anything about what's happening thousands of miles away. I have no control over that. There's nothing I can do about it. What's going to be done is going to be done. But what I can do is look around and go, all right, life's pretty okay right now. I'm just going to roll with
Yeah.
it. And if there's something to be concerned about, I'll deal with it when it comes up.
And that's the way we
Should strive. Ideally,
I
that's what we're
was
all
trying to
striving.
not use the word should, but yes, that is the optimal way that we exist in this world, in today's world, is not the if it doesn't affect me I don't care, because we do
Yeah,
care.
of
And
course we care.
that's why I said, like, I hope that the leaders that are making the decisions are making the right decisions for that's going to bring us peace, that's going to bring us sovereignty, that's
It's going
going
to
to bring
elevate
us
humanity.
elevate humanity, that we're all going to go, ascend together, like all of that, right? Stop knocking people down. Stop resisting, because what we resist persists, right? And you may not like certain people, but the actions are speaking louder than the person. And so if we have more peace in the world, isn't that a good thing? Like, because I think it's a good thing.
You know,
And
it'd
again,
be a really,
to still out on that, but
it'd be a really good strategy. I feel like I've over the years, I think I do this instinctually. What would be a really good strategy for people to do is whenever you hear a piece of news, whether it's local news,
mm-hmm,
global news,
mm-hmm.
news from your friend about your friend, news from your partner about something that happened at work.
Family
I
drama.
would love if everybody thought to themselves, so you have your initial thought about it, oh, that means this is going to happen. And then stop and think, okay, what else could be happening here? What if this isn't what it is and it's actually this whole other thing? Train your brain to see from other perspectives. Train your brain to think outside of the box and not just take things at face value, especially with how prevalent AI is.
Yeah.
You literally cannot trust a single thing that you see on the internet, that you hear on the phone, on the radio, whatever. All of that can be faked. You literally have to question everything. You have to get into the habit of questioning everything. And honestly, I'm getting to the point where I think part of the whole agenda with AI is to get people to stop critically thinking. If you can train people to just ask something questions and it gives you an answer, you don't have to think about it, now you're not going to question anything. And
Yeah.
now you can be even more easily fooled.
True. It's very true. I do find it interesting though on like uh I
While
saw
you're thinking of
yesterday.
it, so true, Renee. 1000%. Exactly. Me worrying is going to change what? Nothing.
It's going to ruin your day,
Correct.
which
Very
then
correct.
could potentially ruin other people around you or the
Mm-hmm.
people you come in contact with. And
Yeah.
then that's going to be the thing that spreads. Um, I will say the one thing about AI that I find very interesting is a lot of people, especially like on X, are asking X, is this true? And the answers are like, yeah, no, this is fake. And so that I actually like it for, because it's really proving what's real and to a point, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, we're trusting AI, but it has been it because there's a couple of things that have deceived me that I was like, oh, that's a really good post, and then someone else posted, but is this true? And it came out that like, oh no, it was a nice poem, but it wasn't written by that person, and it was like, oh, still a nice post, but not written by the person we thought it was. The whole thing with the what WTF, what's going on is we wanted to bring everyone to the point of being here, one, and sometimes the only shock value seems to be the only way to get people to really tune in.
Mm-hmm.
But really think about, what are you doing for yourself? And if you feel your energy literally being drained from you,
Mm-hmm.
like I did last week, it was because I was watching way too much. I was like getting addicted. I was like, oh my God, I got to read what's going on with X. Oh my God, I got to. And it was like, no, it's all going to be. I can see the summary of the stories from the whole entire day
Mm-hmm.
at one point at the end of my day. Back in the old days, they had news on twice a day. The morning, or I don't even know if they used to do it in the morning, like back in my grandparents' day. It might have just been at night. And that was it. That was it. It was like a 30-minute, and then that was it. And you've got to make sure that whether you time yourself, but you cut yourself off when you feel it affecting you and your mood. When you start taking it on as yours. because it's not yours. It's not yours.
Mm-hmm.
Our only job here is to be the best version of ourselves, and actually a better version of ourselves than we were yesterday, to be that better version today. And tomorrow be a better version of who we are today. That is our only job.
Yeah.
That's it. And when you focus on that, then everything else around you is going to start clearing up, looking up. Everything's going to be brighter. The sun's going to be even shining more. Or you're going to look at it in rain and go, okay, cool, it's raining. The plants are getting fed. Awesome, they're getting watered.
Yeah.
It's all how you perceive it, it's all how you look at it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thoughts on
Honestly, I think that's such a great way a nice summary, Renee. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Observe, not absorb. I think that's a great way to phrase
Yeah.
it. And honestly, I feel like that's a great place for us to end this conversation.
Yeah.
I think, why don't we do a couple of deep breaths?
I
And we'll
think
leave
that's
it on that
a really
note.
good idea. And if anyone has any questions, don't type them while we're doing the deep breaths, but afterwards, you ask questions. It's fine. We're good for that. Okay, so big, deep breath in. Hold it. Yawn. Let it out. It's a way of releasing. And exhale. And a big, deep breath in. And a nice exhale. And I want you to think of just what makes you happy. What is one thing that just puts a smile on your face? And just think of it and take that deep, big, deep breath. And then slowly exhale. Yes, release. It is the new moon. We're still in the new moon energy. It is time for releasing. It is time for feeling our feels. Because I'll go back to that for a second. When you hold it in and you try to push it down,
What you resist persists.
it's going to start causing internal issues. It's going to start, bouncing around like a ping pong ball in the ping pong machine, and all that like anger or frustration. It's going to go bing, 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 and it's just going to mess up your system. So if you have to let it out, let it out. If you have to scream, scream. There's nothing wrong with that. Feel your emotions, but move through them.
Mm-hmm.
Don't let them start throwing you around. You control it, let it out, move through it, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Be done with it. So, any questions? Any thoughts? Any ideas? Any concerns? Anything that anyone would like to talk about? Anybody want to scream in the comments? Go for it. It's fine.
And while you do that, we're going to sign off. We'll look for your comments and questions, and we're happy to answer them.
Yes. And just remember that any day, every day, you get to wake up and decide, is it going to be a good day? Is it going to be a bad day? You may not think I'm going to have a bad day, but if you stub your toe and then you start keeping on with and I stubbed my toe this morning and then this happened and then that happened, you are now creating a snowball effect. So flip it. Yeah, I stubbed my toe, but I didn't break it. I stubbed my toe, but I still got to work on time. Whatever that is. Whatever. Flip it. Change the story. Have a good day. It's all about choices. So choose wisely.
And we'll see you next week.
Bye.